Right, let's unpack this. Today, we're doing a deep dive into, a single piece of source material, but a really interesting one, a real estate listing.
Right. It's for 2292 Tallow Drive. That's in Portland, Texas.
Exactly. Currently listed at $303,000. It's a single-family home built back in 2017.
Mm-hmm. 3 beds, about 1,677 square feet, sitting on a pretty decent-sized lot. Looks like 8,527 square feet.
And just for anyone tracking this specific property, the listing agent is Diane Walker with Epique Realty. So our mission today really is to dig into this listing. What can we learn from it?
Yeah, what makes a property like this stand out, especially if you're thinking about buying, maybe upgrading, or just trying to understand a growing market like Portland?
It's about looking beyond just the specs, isn't it? Trying to see the story the listing tells.
Definitely. And one of the first things that jumps out, or at least it did to me, is they call it an original Braselton home.
Ah, okay. So that's not just a random detail then.
Probably not. It's likely a nod to a local builder, someone with a certain reputation. It kind of sets an expectation maybe for quality or a particular style that people in that area recognize and value.
Got it. So it signals something specific right off the bat. Then the listing talks about what's inside. High ceilings, crown molding, lots of natural sunlight.
Yeah, the classic features that sound appealing.
But how do those things really, affect how a buyer feels about the place? Or even its value?
Well, high ceilings, for example, they just make a space feel bigger. So that 1,677 square feet might feel more expansive, more open.
Okay, perception is key.
Right. And for a 2017 build, things like crown molding, elegant fixtures, it suggests maybe a slightly higher-end finish for that time. Could be good for appraisal down the line, especially as Portland grows.
And the natural light, that's always a big one.
Always. Hints at energy efficiency maybe, but also just that general feeling of well-being people want in a home. Connects you to the outdoors a bit more.
Makes sense. Then there's the floor plan. They mention an open layout, good for gatherings or movie nights. That sounds like they're selling a lifestyle, not just rooms.
Exactly. Versatility is huge today. An open plan like that works for daily living and for having people over. It appeals to more people because it can adapt as your needs change.
So it's kind of future-proofing the appeal.
Sort of, yeah. It means the house isn't easily dated by a very specific closed-off layout, tends to keep interest higher, might sell faster down the road.
Okay, let's talk kitchen and bathrooms. Always critical areas, right? The listing says stylish with sleek granite, lots of cabinet space, and modern fixtures.
That tells you quite a bit.
What does it signal, really?
It basically signals move-in ready for those key areas. Granite, modern fixtures, those are popular upgrades people look for. And lots of cabinet space addresses a practical need. Storage is always important.
So less work for the buyer immediately.
Precisely. Less immediate renovation cost or hassle, which is a big plus for many buyers, especially if they're stretching their budget for the purchase itself.
And then you get outside. An oversized yard that they say you are going to love. Pretty simple description.
But powerful. An oversized yard, especially in a place like Portland that's probably seeing more development, is becoming a premium.
Right. Space is valuable.
Yeah. Room for kids, pets, gardening, entertaining outdoors. It adds a whole dimension to the lifestyle. Plus, maybe a bit more privacy, potential for adding a pool or deck later. It's a significant asset.
Okay, so we've got all these appealing features. Original builder rep, nice finishes, open plan, good kitchen baths, big yard. But then there's this detail. It's been on Zillow for 106 days.
Ah, yes. The time on market.
At $303,000, that's around $180 a square foot. So what does that 106 days tell us, or maybe not tell us?
Well, it's definitely something a savvy buyer would notice, 106 days. It's not necessarily a red flag, especially in a market that might be shifting or balancing out.
So it doesn't automatically mean something's wrong with the house.
Not at all. It could mean a few things. Maybe the initial price was a touch high compared to recent sales. Maybe buyers just have more choices now than they did a year ago, so they're taking more time.
Or maybe something specific about that immediate neighborhood's turnover rate.
Could be. It prompts you to ask more questions, basically.
Yeah.
To look at the comps, understand the local market rhythm. It adds a layer to the story beyond just the attractive features.
So, wrapping this up, what's the takeaway for someone listening? Whether you're actively buying or just learning about real estate.
We've seen how this listing for 2292 Tallow Drive highlights specific desirable things. The ceilings, the granite, the yard, being a Braselton home.
Right. We've connected those to potential value and lifestyle appeal. And we touched on that market context piece, like the days on Zillow.
And connecting it all. Understanding a property isn't just about ticking off features from the listing. It's about seeing how those features fit into the bigger picture of the location, the market trends, and maybe even the builder's reputation.
Which leads to a good question to think about.
Exactly. How do you, as a potential buyer or just an observer, balance those hard facts, square footage, price per square foot, days on market, with the more subjective things like the promise of friendly vibes and weekend strolls, often mentioned for neighborhoods? How do you weigh all that to figure out the true long-term value and if it really fits your goals?